Number 1. FBI agent fires at GRPD officers. On the late night of December 6, 2016, a drunk man entered a Planet Fitness gym in Grand Rapids, Michigan. The drunk man, who was later identified as an FBI agent, Ruben Hernandez, then showed his gun to the people in the gym, who immediately called the Grand Rapids Police Department. As the responding officer arrived at the location, Hernandez fired 3 shots at him. Fortunately, the officer didn't get hurt. After firing at a cop, Hernandez then left the gym and walked to a nearby parking lot, where he fell out of exhaustion. The cops approached and arrested him without sustaining any injuries. As they searched his pockets, a shocking realization dawned upon him.
Empty. He's got a badge.
I would not hurt you, sir.
Federal Bureau of... He's an FBI agent.
FBI agent, sir. I would not hurt you, sir.
As it turned out, Hernandez wasn't the only FBI agent causing trouble. He had been with his partner, John Salazar, who was also an FBI agent. The duo was out partying and dancing at the Sensations Showgirls nightclub. As they drank too many beers, Hernandez and Salazar lost track of reality and somehow ended up splitting from each other. Hernandez ended up walking into a gym where he encountered the police. After the GRPD brought his friend to the police station, Salazar appeared drunk and armed on the scene, asking about his partner. Although Salazar didn't face any trouble with the law,
Police headquarters, drunk and armed, has not faced any charges in this case.
his partner Hernandez was charged with firing at GRPD officers. He was later presented in front of a judge, where Hernandez's attorney said that his client was feeling horrible and everything he did was because of alcohol.
That happened. He's feeling horrible.
Hernandez pleaded no contest to the charges in the hope that he would be able to avoid jail. However, Kent County Circuit Court Judge Dennis Lieber sentenced him to 135 days in jail with credit for 1 day served. Hernandez was also placed on probation for 2 years. "You're a man who lived an exemplary life up until the day this incident occurred," Judge Lieber said.
Who lived an exemplary life up until the day that this incident occurred.
And once the horror of your actions was revealed to you, I believe the contrition and remorse that you expressed is heartfelt and sincere. Following his arrest by GPRD, Hernandez was also fired from the FBI, although everyone gets equal treatment for breaking the law. However, when a law enforcement officer does something illegal, things become much more serious, as they are supposed to hold the law and know better than anybody else. But if you were thinking that Hernandez and Salazar are the most reckless FBI agents, wait till you see the next one. Chase Bishop, who put a citizen's life in danger due to his lack of professionalism. Number 2, FBI agent arrested after shooting a citizen while dancing. While the people in a Denver nightclub were enjoying a night out with friends, something happened that turned their joy into a nightmare. They had no idea that there was an FBI agent, Chase Bishop, among them, who was showing off his cool dancing moves. While dancing on the floor, Agent Bishop decided to do a backflip. As he went for it, his gun fell from his holster on the dance floor. After the agent went to retrieve the gun, he accidentally discharged it, hitting a man in the leg. While other people in the club surrounded the 24-year-old Tom Reddington, who had been shot in the leg, Agent Bishop raised his hands up and walked off the scene with a smile on his face. He didn't even show any concern for the disaster that his gun had caused.
My fiance got shot, so I was panicking. When I realized it wasn't him, I was still panicking because there was a man covered in blood over there.
Following the incident, Denver police arrived at the location. However, Agent Bishop had left the club in an attempt to skip out on accountability. Reddington was immediately transported to the hospital, where he received treatment for non-life-threatening injuries.
And that's when it clicked in my head, oh, I've been shot.
Although the agent tried, he couldn't escape the law. Soon after his arrest warrant was issued, he turned himself into the Denver police, who charged him with second-degree assault. An FBI supervisor later took charge of the case and called it a personal matter.
All the rules apply to you, on or off duty.
While an investigation was going into the incident, Reddington was recovering from his injuries. Talking to a news channel, he called his pain quite unbearable. Reddington said that he was enjoying the weekend with his friends and had no idea what was in store for him.
Became completely red.
Reddington also said that it was a stupid move from an FBI agent. However, he didn't blame him. "I don't want to ruin his life. I just want a private phone call from this guy," he said about Agent Bishop.
I don't want to ruin his life. I just want a private phone call from this guy.
But although Reddington was quite forgiving and generous, the FBI and the court didn't tolerate this behavior from someone who was supposed to be an expert in handling guns with a serious attitude. Following the investigation, Bishop was immediately fired from his job at the FBI. He was later presented in court, where he pled to third-degree assault and was sentenced to 2 years of unsupervised probation. "We believe that this agreement strikes an appropriate balance of seeking justice for the victim and ensuring that this type of incident does not happen again," District Attorney Beth McCann said. Following the incident, Chase Bishop and the FBI were met with harsh criticism from the public, who were questioning the use of weapons by off-duty law enforcement officers. Although Bishop deserved every bit of the treatment he got, the next federal agent on the list was treated brutally and unfairly by police officers. Number 3, ATF agent attacked and tased by Columbus police. On July 7, 2020, ATF agent James Burke visited a house in Columbus, Ohio, to retrieve a weapon from an individual who wasn't allowed to have a gun. Agent James approached the house and knocked on the door. However, the resident refused to open it. Despite James showing him his badge number and explaining the reason for his arrival at the house, the individual called 911, and this is when all hell broke loose. The resident told the police that Agent James was impersonating a police officer. After getting the call, 2 Columbus police officers, Officer Joseph Feehey and Officer Kevin Wenchel, responded to the location. It seemed that the officers who responded to the scene were trained to escalate things instead of de-escalate them, as from the moment they met Agent James, Officer Feehey started asking him to get on the ground without giving any explanation. Not only that, he even had his gun drawn on the agent.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground now!
Despite Agent James telling the cops that he was a federal agent, which they weren't interested in verifying, the cops kept yelling at him.
Why wouldn't you show me your ID when I got here? Don't move forward, You didn't ask for it.
Officer Feehey continuously ordered him to get on the ground. Agent James finally complied. Ideally, things should have ended here. However, they didn't. After getting him on the ground, the cops then proceeded to handcuff the agent, which he resisted. As the agent tried to break free from the cops' iron grip, a struggle ensued. To de-escalate things, Agent James even asked the cops to get his ID from his back pocket.
Get out of my left pocket! I'm begging you! My wife's please! It's right here! Please get it!
But the officers weren't in the mood for listening. After all, they had all the power they wanted. In case you were thinking that it couldn't get any worse than that, it did. As the agent kept requesting the officers to inspect his ID and confirm that he was a federal agent, they applied a taser to him. Without giving a single chance to the agent to explain himself, the officer tased him.
Don't make me tase you! No. Okay. Help me up. Help me up.
No, stay on the ground. Get right arm on your back.
Let me breathe. I'm gonna. Ow! Don't do that. Okay. Here. My God! It is cuffed! Get him cuffed!
But this is not where it ended. Even after seeing his badge and ID, the cops didn't believe Agent James, because if they did, their prior actions would have been proven wrong.
I was trying to give you my creds! You didn't let me show them to you!
Never once tried.
I wonder what chance did these cops give to the agent? After handcuffing him, officers put him in the back of their police car and waited for the arrival of their supervisor. Seeing his senior, Officer Feehey tried to clear his name by exaggerating Agent James' actions.
He wouldn't get on the ground. I told him over and over to get on the ground. He wouldn't comply with anything. We had to tase him. He fought with us the whole time. Wouldn't get in the car. If he is a real police officer. No, we're not.
Okay.
I do got him. Yeah.
Right.
The cops turned to the woman who had called the police upon the agent. She admitted that although Agent James introduced himself, she denied opening the door.
I can't open the door because my husband.
Our officers on the edge, but we were finally able to get
He said you have to open the door. I tell him I'm sorry, I can't. Stay with my kids. My kids start crying because they afraid. And I tell him.
Did he ever try and break the door or anything like that?
Yes, he still knock and he say I will stay here until evening if you don't open the door because you are liar.
But Officer Feehey was too busy justifying his aggression against the agent.
He's like, no, I'm going to show you my creds. Joe said, no, you need to get down. He had a gun. I came up, pointed my gun on the ground. After both of us pointed our guns at him, he finally started getting on the ground. Then went to go handcuff him. He's like, no. And he tried to pull like this and tried to not let us handcuff him.
So we got one cuff on. We couldn't get the other one. I had drive step.
The agent was later released without any charges after being held for more than an hour. Although Columbus police tried to forget their mistake, Agent James didn't. On December 4th, 2020, he filed a lawsuit against the city of Columbus, Officer Feehey, and Officer Wenchel, saying that both cops used excessive force during the arrest. Following the incident, Agent James was put in an administrative support role at the ATF because of the injuries that he had suffered. Agent James's arrest highlights the unprofessionalism of both officers who responded to the scene. It is also a reminder of how cops escalate things without any apparent reason. From the beginning of the arrest, we saw how the agent kept calm and responsive to the officer's questions, but the cops didn't put a little bit of effort to keep things at ease. If you liked the video and want to watch more of them, please subscribe to the channel.